What is Domecrazy, Mickey?
Domecrazy is if you a Fulldome Festival producer who invites people because they are great and have no idea what they are actually going to talk about. But when they announce they have a talk that's called Domecrazy, me as a professional producer say, okay, I don't care the fuck what you present, that's the theme, this is what the people want to hear. So I asked the people, you are the people, is the theme of Domecrazy something that you really want to hear? Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
And here's the answer, here's the man.
Okay, welcome to my presentation. My name is Pedro Zaz. I am from Portugal. I came today from China, from Guangzhou. Last week I was, 1 week ago I was in, 2 weeks ago I was in Tokyo with you. And I want to ask how many people did my course that they are sitting here? Maybe you did 1, 2, and 3, Jota. You did it in Japan. Where did you do it?
Netherlands.
In the Netherlands, very good. In the Netherlands, in that place where we have no domes.
Yeah.
But that's another conversation. That's another conversation. Okay, so I am going to talk a little bit about what essentially is my life, because that's what I came here for. I have a dream, just like so many other people. And what I'm going to tell you about is the Spherical Revolution. The Spherical Revolution. And Domecrazy, not Domecrazy. Okay? I have no idea what Domecrazy is. I will never use the word crazy, just to be clear, okay? It's a political statement I am doing, not crazy shit. So I really appreciate that. I just been in China where, off the record, I couldn't use the word revolution or democracy because they did not like it. But I came to Germany and they changed the name. So just you to think a little about on that one, alright? So it's very important to know where you come from. And this is actually where I came from. It's a beautiful place in Portugal. And it's not dome related, but check it out. It's a star. It comes with many other things implied. And this is in northeast Portugal. As you can tell, it's in a very little place that not many people is. Okay? It's here, alright? And this place, it's a star. A star. Okay? I'm starting with this because I've been doing domes all my life, and now I want to keep on growing. I want to make art from satellites. Stuff that you can see from the satellites. Why not? Right? That's called land art. And I can start right here with this beautiful star. I want to make a huge mandala to the size of kilometers. Right? So you understand how crazy my dreams can go. That's why, you know, and I think it's important to understand the history where you come from. And no more that my really thing, that's what will happen when you do technical setups. Alright, so you understand a little bit more about me. I don't have much time, so I'm going to do really fast. And I just want you to see an image and how important is this. Right? This is a star. I want to paint it all over with flowers, crop circles around, graffiti on the ceilings, graffiti on the floor, and make art that you can see from a satellite. Absolutely nothing to do with domes. But when I started making domes, people told me, you are crazy. That's a niche market. There's no one doing that. And probably you call me crazy again because I want to make land art, but that's how it works. This has history since the Bronze Age, Roman occupation, the Suevian, the Visigoths, the Germans, you know. And after it was named by the Muslims, the Moors. Only after called Arabic Almedia, it's called Almedia, it's in Portugal. And after a little bit of 6 years of Spanish occupation, the French invaded it 3 times in Napoleon. And then the English, France came and killed everyone, you know? And only in '74 we had democracy. I'm telling you this because it's really important to know the history, alright? The history where you came from. And if you don't know the history where you come from, you'll probably never know your future. That's why I teach the history of domes, right? And I go around the world to teach this. And now, before I get into the subject, I want you to see a little bit of my work and how I went to the cashless world of Fulldome, because there's no money in Fulldome, at least for I can support my lifestyle. Not a very expensive lifestyle, but we all know it's difficult to make money in the world of art and domes, right? And this is installations and shows that I've created with many, many different channels. We even did stadium shows with 23 projectors of 20Ks. That's even more shows with 23 projectors of 20Ks. Our record was a big, that's for the Governor Palace in Brazil. This is with Jota. Where's my friend Jota? It's over there. So we did that show together with Jota, that's in Bolivia. Believe me, those were 8 20K projectors from Ribin, a company in Germany that recycles projectors. This was the only way we could afford 20K projectors in Bolivia. No way they can afford the big budgets, alright? So we have to take like garbage from Germany, which was like second-hand recycled pumped-up projectors, to be able to do this in Bolivia on a massive scale, alright? Because no country should be left out because they can't afford projections. Right, the Rio Olympic ceremony, my friend VJ Pedro, who's sleeping at the moment in the hotel, I envy him a lot, but he's sleeping now. We're going to perform tonight together. He was the director of this show together with me and some other people. These were 200 Indians creating the Olympic ceremony overture in Rio de Janeiro. Those were 120 projectors, okay? That's 120 projectors of 20K. Some more stuff. And then video art installations, alright? Video art installations can travel from the favela of Rio de Janeiro to Manhattan. This is in Manhattan, this is a favela in Rio, the same video art, okay? So, that's a little bit of the video art piece that I'm going to show you, and I haven't touched the topic of domes yet, alright? And this is so you understand that this is the same video art piece that was played in a favela in Rio and in a very posh gallery in Manhattan. It's the same content. This story, it's not about a love story, it's about a mishap. You can have to see it online one day, but you understand more or less where we moved to, the world of video art. So, in 2000, we created the Fulldome VJ, because when I met Mickey, it changed my life, thank you Mickey. It was 11 years ago, I wrote this email saying, hey, Mr. Mickey, can I go and meet you? Yeah, I come tomorrow. Hi Mickey. So that was the story, even before any Fulldome action. So yes, thank you very much for being so welcome. And this is what happened. After a couple of years I met Mickey. Blended Dome VJ, because I realized the world of domes is a very conservative world, right? The Planetarium directors, they always scared of people like me, right? When I go, they go, no, go, go. Because we drink beer, because we smoke marijuana, because they do not want us around, okay? This is all around the world, Japan, South America, USA, you name it. There's only a handful of friendly art dome people. And I know them all around the world, okay? And fortunately, we created this software to be able to get out of this world of planetariums and create our own world. So MoMA, PS1 Museum of Modern Art in New York, realized about it, and they bought our installation, our software, and did an installation at MoMA with modern art and eggs. I don't know what's going on with modern art and eggs, but there's a lot of eggs in modern art, okay? So, we have done massive domes like this one. This is a 23-meter dome in Rio de Janeiro, built in the 70s by Zaz from the DDR. You know this company, Zaz from the DDR? So they swapped this dome for coffee. Yes, you heard it well, coffee, okay? More on this one later. So, this one was an amazing installation with 6 20K projectors. This dome has never been digital in their lives. This was an art media festival where they could afford 6 20K projectors, installed them, and we went for it. That was in Derry, in the place where the IRA was born. So they did a party outside, and this was an interview that I did for BBC, and this was the very first time the BBC said the word Fulldome. They always like to call words that only allowed by the Oxford Dictionary. So Fulldome is not really clear in the dictionary yet, but I made sure that I said the word, okay? So that's me speaking about it, that's the TV presenter. We are getting inside the dome and she's interviewing the guy who's making the visuals. And I say, what is my job, alright?
On the inside, it's a 360-degree video wall. When the musicians are performing, live visuals are being done in the room. Imagine stepping into a music video. This is the future.
This is the future, guys!
Pedro, explain what's happening here.
Well, this is the dome. It's visual. It has 5 projectors and we call it Fulldome.
Fulldome!
Different ways to express the work. It's no more than a performance art.
Performance art.
Does you hear affect the visuals you choose?
The only reason the VJ exists is because of the music. So I tap the visuals on time with the music. So if the drums go like
boom, 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 I go boom, boom, boom. Right? And this is my job. When the drums go boom, 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 I do boom, boom, boom. Right? That is my job. I'm a VJ. I'm a performance artist. If the music plays loud, I make it louder. Alright? So that's a little bit what we want to I want to show you about my background, and now I'm showing you what is this. This was when I realized that a lot of video art was not being taught anywhere. Only universities. Students spend 5 years spending the money. They don't have the money from their parents. They get out of university and have no idea what to do. And that's ridiculous. Universities should teach people how to make money. Of course, how to make art, but you need money to live. So we created the concept of VJ University, right? We teach you in 3 or 4 days what university will never teach you. From zero to hero, right? And I'll tell you how. This was in Russia, that's in Canada. That was a dome in Russia that smelled like rat piss. It was amazing. That's in San Francisco. That's in Berlin with a company called Fulldome. They lent us a dome to do this workshop. That was in Los Angeles in 2000. And now, more recently, I went to Japan. And that's with Mari, and that's me teaching 30 professionals in Japan, right? And that was a pretty amazing, intense job because I only had 1 hour to map the dome. This is the dome, okay? And I had lunchtime to map the dome because in Japan everything is pornographically expensive, right? So I couldn't rent 2 days to do the workshop that I normally do in 2 days or 3 days. So I had 1 day in Japan. That's it. People in Japan, they know a lot. They have learned a lot. They have the capacity to learn a lot in very compressed time. So yes, I had lunchtime. This was at 10 o'clock in the morning, right? And that's done building the dome at 10 a.m. Actually, 9 a.m. workshop starts at 10, right? So you understand how stuff works. Workshop starts at 10, they building the dome at 9. Right? I am everything millimetrically, correctly, amazingly done. So, the dome was up at my lunchtime. I said the projectors have to be in this specific position. The projectors were millimetrically in the position. I plugged in the computer and voila, everything was working. My mapping took me 10 minutes and boom, job done. So you understand that there was a lot of people there for one reason. Japan has a very conservative Fulldome planetarium industry. Sorry for if I had any Japanese here, but you understand what I'm talking about. It's very conservative. It have never opened. More conservative than anywhere in the world that I have been. Okay? That's why I had so many. It has 30 students, a sold out class of 30 students. All right? Everyone here was paying $400 to be here, $300 to be here. Alright, it's not something that you pay 20 or 30, it's something that you really need to program yourself to go. So there you go, I was for 3 hours speaking about this, and then I created the dome workshop, the mapping, and that was the mapping being done, that was the content being projected. The students managed to create content on that same day, projecting content in the dome and see how it looks, right? That is the concept of VJ University that I did in Japan in 1 day, what I normally do in 3 days, alright? So that was well done from Tokyo, you know, that was like fucking amazing, you know? Right, and that, I just want you to understand how the paradigm shift is changing from Europe to Asia. Here we live the future, I mean, here we live the present. The future is in Asia, okay? No other way about it. So, China. China was a very important adventure for me. That was a little world tour that I've been involved in the past month. I have to show you this because it's also important. This was in Guangzhou, Academy of Fine Arts. We're talking about a student academy of 8,000 art students, right? 8,000 art students. Not 200 or 300 art students. I don't know if you know any sound. Sorry, I have to do a little. I think I had 2 videos. Okay, so this is GAFA, Guangzhou Academy of Fine Arts, 8,000 students, right? They all want to learn new media department. They have it. They teach to thousands of students Fulldome, okay? They do not teach something weird that might have a subject of Fulldome. No, they teach Fulldome. I'm talking about hundreds of students, alright? And this is a workshop they took me there to install my software, my teaching skills. They have a dome, they have video mapping, they have the whole package, right? It was a whole week teaching this and so yes, I can tell you by the sales of my software, and believe me, I do not create the software to make money, for sure, because it does not make enough money to me live on whatsoever. This was just a little software tool for anyone who wants to start to create domes. It can have an option. The software costs $800 if you have a Planetarium, right? It costs $400 if you are a VJ, 50% discount. If you are a student, I give it to you for $200. If you want it for free, ask me and I'll give it to you. So it's a business model that has no business model, alright? So, believe me, this is not to promote my software, it's to promote the medium. Because if you evolve and start to need more better software, you're definitely going to buy another one. You are very welcome to do that. This is a manual software, you are able to do it. We've created this stuff around the world, we teach this software, and after, we give you a certificate. A certificate from the university, it's your diploma, right? With this diploma, you get 50% discount in all the feature softwares, alright? So believe me, if you want to become a VJ or a Fulldome VJ, you come to my workshops. I'll give it to you a certificate and you already save $1,000 in all the software for VJ, right? So, no excuse not to become a Fulldome VJ in 1 or 2 days, okay? So now, you saw it, what I do, okay? And I'm just going to tell you a little bit more about why we are here, right? Why we are here in the Dome world. And because we are under the influence of vision, and that's why, because we are under the influence of vision. Can you please tell me how long do I have left? Before I trash the wedding.
All the time of the world.
No, I don't. And listen, Buddhist stupas have domes, okay? Synagogues have domes. Cathedrals, Catholics have domes. Mosques. Dome of the Rock, Jerusalem, the Taj Mahal have domes. We're talking about thousands of years, not hundreds of years. Even the terrible have domes, right? You know, I don't need to talk about religion, obviously, but we are carrying a legacy of the dome people in our shoulders for a long time. We are just the generation that is putting the pixels in the domes, right? And this is amazing. I'm very lucky to be from the generation in the whole world history that it's putting digital pixels in the domes. Sooner will be LED, right? So we are the generation that is able to place the digital pixels in the domes, because domes are here for many years and we are under the influence of vision. This is my favorite dome ever in the world. It's from an architect called Calatrava in Valencia, Spain. And this dome, and many of you probably know it, but it has a clear message. When you open it, it has water, that's the retina, and becomes an eye. The dome, it's the retina, okay? It's a very clear image, message that is going to be here forever. And there are many names to call domes. Planetarium, surround videos, hemispheric projection, you name it. But you know, what I'm here to talk about, it's the Spherical Revolution. This is what I go around the world to do. I go and teach what the Spherical Revolution is. And it's no more than the process that the media is becoming spherical, permanent in all technological advances. This is the last format of a generation. Everything it will be a sphere around us. Virtual reality, augmented reality, you name it, no more letterbox video. You can extract letterbox video from any spherical medium, but the last format of a generation, it's the sphere. Why am I so convinced of saying that? Because I believe it. And I've read it somewhere in the internet. And yes, that's the logo of the Spherical Revolution. This has already running the world for 3 years. I'm not here to tell you about the Spherical Revolution. I came here to talk about democracy, okay? And I'll tell you in a little bit what it is. But before I'm talking about that, I just want you to realize the amount of cameras there is already for this, okay? I've seen a couple here. I've seen a letterbox camera. I don't know what that is doing here, but it's okay. I've seen a spherical camera. And there are many other companies that has created cameras, very expensive, in 2016. This is a company, maybe you have heard about it. It's called Facebook, you know, and they have done this camera, which is an open source camera for 32K, you know, which is absolutely insane. And they have opened all the plans that you can copy the camera, so you don't need to reverse engineer it. They already gave you the plans. And yeah, Facebook 360 Spatial Workstation. They have a software for you to create 360 audio for free. Facebook has a camera with open plans and has a spatial workstation. A Facebook 360 Spatial Workstation. Yes, I repeat. There is a software for Facebook for you to edit 360 audio for free, okay? And this is a very clear message that it's happening around the world. And more. Why are we so into domes? It has to do with the peripheral vision. Peripheral vision. Do you know peripheral vision? We all know about peripheral vision. Why is so important? Because you know that vibe when you are in the train next to you starts moving and you think it's your own train? Do you know this? When you are inside an airplane, the plane next to you starts moving, say, oh shit, what's going on? You know this feeling? You all know this feeling, yeah? That's what happens inside the dome. This obviously is not new for many of you, but for some people, if this is the first time you listen to this is the shit, okay? That's why you have to understand to make Fulldome. That has a word, it has a name, and the name I'm going to give it to you now. It's called, anyone? Vection, okay? If you don't know what that is, you have to type this down, research, and that's how you make people vomit inside the dome, all right? So, less about this. Those are the 3 more important concepts in domes. I'm telling you a very short sneak peek inside what is my VJ University class. Okay, I do this for 3 hours. So yes, we are the lucky generation that has placed the pixels into the domes, right? And what is the democracy finally? Okay, democracy, it's no more. That's my concept of making domes more accessible, guys. Domes are still in these castles, you know, where you go and it's really difficult to convince any person to go to the castle. Please, let me in your castle, I'm not a gypsy, I swear. You know, and yes, the gypsies are taking over the castle, yes, we are. And we have more software. We do not care about the planetariums anymore because we have many structures around the world. In China, they have, when the time I went there, they had 10 geodesic domes with negative pressure. In Brazil, I already manufactured domes with negative pressure. My biggest one is 20 meters. When I start this, when I met Mickey, I had no domes. Now I have a bunch. You know, so, you know, and the price we charge in Brazil is a tenth of the price of Pacific domes, you know, in America, you know. So please, you know, the Western world is charging way too much money, and it's coming in other countries who are making it so cheap and more accessible. And that's what democracy is. It does not need to have to be so expensive. Anything for planetariums, it's silly, pornographically expensive. So that's why I try to make it more accessible to everyone. And yes, this is a tribute to all the artists who are helping to turn the domes into more democratic places. We are not interested in science, we are interested in art. That's where we came from, and that's where we want to do. So yes, that's a pipe, democracy, okay? So, I have a few more things to talk about if I have time.
Yes,
do I have time? Okay, so now I'm going to tell you, I will tell you the history, and if you know, in 1923, where was the first dome being built? Which dome was first built in 1923, where the whole story started? Do you know?
Yes.
I love this question. Because no one ever knows that I am in the place. This is it, guys. It's a real pleasure. This is Mecca. This is Mecca for domes. These don't never stop performing movies since 1923. First World War, Second World War, all the DDR stuff, and never stopped performing movies. That's amazing, okay? And yes, I normally go and tell the story about this, where it all started and where it's going to go. And that's the very first image. Many people think Buckminster Fuller is the guy from the geodesic domes, but guess what? A couple of decades before, some people did it here, you know? And I have the names if you want to be very curious about it. I can, oh, okay, it's gone. So, yes, now I normally tell the story. I go from the 20s, and this is the story of the art. And I'm going to jump for the 50s, okay? In the 50s, where the art really started. And that's really important that you understand what was the Vortex concerts. He doesn't want to play the Vortex concert, no problem. We like it the same. So yes, I tell the story decade by decade about the art in domes. I go through the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, not science, art. People who experiment with art in domes since the 50s. They had the same problems we have today, which are not very welcome by the Planetarium Society, apart from Jena, who welcomes all the time. But, you know, what I want to show you is now, it's a couple of statements from people around the world. You're going to listen to a statement from Transylvania, from Peru, Colombia, and the United States. These are people that their lives were changed by the world of Fulldome, right? This is a dome.
My name is Jose Carlos Reina,
in Peru.
I'm from Peru.
Lima. Anyone from Peru here?
We have a little festival here in Lima, Fulldome. The name of the festival is Visiones.
So, this planetarium, it has no running water, okay?
So we are kind of...
This planetarium has no running water. For complicated reasons, one of them is politics. So, every time there is a session, this guy has to take the water for the toilets, okay? So he can flush the toilets. It would be funny if it wouldn't be dramatic, alright? But he managed to have a successful Fulldome business in Peru on a planetarium with no running water, okay? He charges the tickets, he pays the producers, he plays the movies, and makes the money, gives the money to the producers, keeps the money for himself, okay? Like a normal business. So, guess what? Many people around the world tell me, there's no money in the Fulldome business for the arts. What do you mean I'm talking about? In Peru, with a planetarium with no running water, there's a person doing a successful Fulldome art business, okay? So I don't see no excuse in the Western world for people to say, oh, there's no money in the Fulldome art. So yes, there is money in Fulldome art, you just have to do it. So, in Denver, there's our friend Tim Edens, who more recently came with me to China. He's an American, and he lost 4 kilos in China because he stopped eating sugar for 3 days. It was hilarious, hilarious. So yeah, he makes many domes around the world. That's a Microsoft dome he did. There's Vortex that he also have performed a couple of times there. He's one of our United VJs who travels around in the world with us. Every time we have a job in the US, we send him over. And that's Adela Motean from Transylvania in Romania. That's a very, I think, might be mistaken, but it's the first girl Fulldome curator that I know of. And that's all she does, and she makes it really well because she has the strength.
So nice to see you. Greetings from Transylvania, from Romania. I am an artist, a researcher, and a curator.
So she brings the dome. It's more expensive, not like the Peru vibe, but she managed to get the money from some sponsor. She puts the dome. She invites the people, charge the money.
Did this 3 times already.
And then pick up the concept, Dome of the New World. Another concept is the future is now. And she makes Fulldome movies, Fulldome art. The next one, it's Jeremy from Strasbourg. Those ones, they have a lot of money from the government. Just have, because it's Strasbourg and has all this French, German stuff, you know. So, yeah, that's a very different thing. But yeah, it's the whole other side of the world where they can actually have a bunch of cool products, you know, really expensive, but very well. They go around the world.
Structure and to create some transformation inside the Planetarium. Hi guys, I'm Jeremy from AD Fighters.
That's his work.
I'm an artist from France, an architect, and I work on Fulldome Revolution.
Yeah.
I work on visual, and actually I want to say a word about the way it changed my life to think about geodesic structure and to create.
So yes, now last, this is my friend from Colombia, and they have Nueve Voltios from Colombia, and they have, funny enough, a bunch of coffee behind them, because this dome is one of the 5 coffee domes. Okay? What are the coffee domes, you might ask? The coffee domes are 5 domes in South America that they were exchanged for coffee during the 70s with the Jena DDR, right? Because there couldn't be any trade between the dictatorships from South America and all the communist countries around here, this part of the world, so they traded for coffee. 23-meter domes in South America. There are 5 of them. Guess what? None of them are digital. Guess what? They can't be digital because you can't buy projectors for coffee nowadays. Right? I have mapped 2 of them with my software. Okay? Festivals, new media festivals, they have sponsors, they manage to rent 5 projectors, they put them inside the 23-meter domes. With Bloody Dome VJ, we map them, we make a show. It's the second one. This is one of them. It was the show from Nueve Voltios. And yes, they are the coffee domes. And I want to leave this challenge here for you. There's very scarce information on the internet. I found some official information in the Colombian dome site, which is from the Planetarium of Bogota, that you will see a very funny image in a second. And these domes are basically massive white elephants in the world of South America today, because who can digitize them? They are there from the 70s, you can't demolish them anymore, because they become heritage. But they can't be digital, no one is paying $1 million to digitize these planetariums, you know? So yes, how or what are we going to make of these domes? So yeah, in September of '68, there was a contract signed by Carl Zeiss and the DDR for the National Federation of Coffee Growers, right? And the coffee bank was had the trust of the income of the payment of the debt. So all the money that came from the ticket sales went for the coffee bank, okay? This is in the late 60s, early 70s, okay? And yeah, that's where they are. Bogota, Mexico, Caracas, Quito, Rio de Janeiro. Coffee 23-meter domes, okay? It's amazing. They're not going to be they're not going to be digital so soon. I managed already to play performing these two. I'm not sure about Venezuela, how can we do that now or soon, but you know, Quito and Mexico, those ones I'm definitely going to make some events. So imagine there are massive domes in South America that no one have heard about, because they're not digital, and they will be impossible to be digital, right? Today they are white elephants, very, very expensive to modernize. In the Rio de Janeiro one, it rains inside, okay? It rains inside the dome, guys. It's like my heart cries. But yes, this was the late 60s, the world now, it's a proper capitalist world, so I want to see who's going to spend the money in digitizing these domes. So yeah, there are a few festivals around the world, and to finalize, I want to show you this, which I live and work in South America and Europe, and now apparently Asia, okay? And I realized that in South America there's a big production of art in all senses. So I decided to make the union of full domes of South America, right? Change the world upside down, because the upside is just a matter of state. The world does not have an up or a downside, as you probably know. You can just change the planet Earth around and no one falls around. So yes, that's what it is. We have decided to make the union of full domes of South America, and with my friend Jota, who's there very carefully listening to me, he lives in Berlin, he's a Berliner, and he's going to start to make shows with full dome content from South America, hopefully in the Gross Planetarium, if Team Florian allow us, or allow him to show this best of full dome South American full dome movies. So yeah, we already have 1 hour, an hour and a half. I think it's very important to promote another regions in this world of full dome. And these regions are so massive that they are so difficult to keep track of. And one of them is South America and Asia, right? Europe and America, or the United States, it's kind of easy to track down. People is logged in all the time. But that's not the case of Asia, because they've got a different internet and a different firewall. And the case of South America is that you have no time, because you always have to run around the next couple of dollars that you're going to make. So yes, we're going to take some Berliner time to create this show, and hopefully we're going to show it around some planetariums in Germany and around the world. Yes, that's a little bit of the presentation I have done. I can keep here talking forever, but I think my time is up. And thank you very much. It was a real pleasure to be here.